You're doing the talking back to the text. That's when you deepen your thinking, because you're asking questions, you're making connections to other things you know about, maybe from another text, maybe to your life, maybe to something you saw in the news in the world, but you're probing deeper into your own brain and deeper into the text. So that's what you're doing.
Which can be really, really productive and help you get good A's on papers.
Yeah. When you go to write the paper, it's already half written because you've done all this already. If you don't do it now, if you don't do it when you're writing on going through it, you're going to have to do it later. Save yourself a step. Do it now.
Mm-hmm. So we want to go through some examples?
Yeah.
Okay. And see if I can get this document.
You broke it. Actually, it has been misbehaving quite a lot.
There we go.
Sorry.
Here, let me move that away so you can.
Do we want this one right out?
No, I'm just going to show. Alright, so this is a... Oh, gotta orient myself here. This is something you can do if you're not allowed to write in books, which frequently you can't early on. Although later on you'll be able to buy your own books and write all over them.
Be able to buy your own books. You'll be forced.
You'll be forced to.
You'll have to buy them.
Hundreds of dollars worth, yeah. So you can start off with, just doing the same thing that you do with Cornell notes, putting your name at the top, the date, and maybe what book you're reading. And then just split the page right down the middle. And you're going to have a side that you're going to write quotes on, and another side that you're going to write notes on. So basically, say you're reading Hamlet for a, I don't know, what year do you tend to do Hamlet Shakespeare? 12th grade?
12th grade.
And you want to pull out a quote, to be or not to be. You just write a part of that down, and then the page that you found it on. And then you might write your ideas about this. Is he talking about suicide? Is he talking about whatever? Mm-hmm. And then you just fill up your page that way, and you have your notes right there. You can refer back to the book.
Yeah, and be sure to put your page number on there, because you're going to need to use it for quotes, for papers, and all that stuff. I do this kind of in a digital format. I just type it up on my computer. I'll have Hamlet open, and then I'll have my little laptop open, and I just type it directly there, because I know that, a week from now the paper's going to be due, and this way I've already got it typed up, and I just kind of cut and paste into my paper as I use those quotes, and as I use the commentary that I'm writing as I'm doing this. So it's just, you can do it on the piece of paper if that's what's available, or if you've got a computer, it can help save you a step later on.
Yeah, and here's a third way. I brought this picture book to show you because I didn't want to write in it. So this is something you can do with your textbooks that you're not allowed to write in. Just put a little post-it note and make your notes on that, and keep your post-it notes in your book until you have to turn it back in at the end of the year. And that's just another way you can do it. But today we're going to focus on a strategy called in-text annotation.
Mm-hmm. And this is the one that you're going to be using most frequently in college, and you're going to use it a lot in high school too, but you'll use it on stuff like this, on the handouts that you get. You're going to just write directly on the text, and that's what we're talking about. And I want to just real quickly give you an example. We talked about highlighting, underlining, starring, bracketing, and then writing the questions in the margins. And I want you to take a look at just these first couple of lines here, like to there. There is a lot highlighted and a lot underlined and bracketed and put in boxes and stars. If I were going back to this text like a week later to write the paper and I needed to find something quickly, then I'm like, oh yeah, that important part. Where was the important part? Am I going to be able to do that when my text looks all marked up like this? No. So what percentage of your paper do you think should be marked? Like if you looked at the one page, about how much of it should be covered in highlighter? Guess. 20%? Would anybody differ on that? Higher, lower?
I'll say half.
Third.
Half, third? Actually, Murphy, we're going to split the difference between you guys. About 25%. Because if you have half, you might be tempted to think that, oh, like 80% of this is important, and you have 80% of it highlighted. what's going to happen when you go back to reread that text when you're studying for the test? What was that? Yeah, you get mixed up because you have to reread the entire thing. You can do that, it'll work, but it's just a lot of extra time. It'll be a lot better if you have, when you go back through and you only have to reread your important 25%, you only have to read a quarter of it. Okay, so if you have to read 10 pages, now you have to read 2.5. Much better. So, today we're going to annotate a text together, and it's the one that you have in front of you. It is a handout, so you can feel free to write all over it. Actually, we're going to require you to write all over it. So, we're going to do this together. We're just going to work through the first 6 lines. But while Ashley's getting this up, what do you guys know about Langston Hughes? A poet? What else do we know? Sure, sure. What race was Langston Hughes? He's black? Yeah, where did he live? New York? Harlem specifically? What time frame? Good question. 20s, 30s. During the what? You guys said this earlier.
The Great Depression.
It was something more specific. Sabrina.
Harlem
Where'd she go?
Renaissance.
There we go. Harlem Renaissance. Sabrina got it earlier. All right. Good deal. So we
Great.
can start. Good.
Can we get a volunteer to read just the first 6 lines?
Out loud.
Down to
Good. Strong voice.
this line. Yeah, Murphy, go ahead.
Okay. Like to.
The question mark on line 6. I wonder if it's that simple.
The instructor said, "Go home and write a page tonight, and let that page come out of you. Then it will be true. I wonder if it's that simple."
Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of in-text annotation here. So right here where it says, the instructor said, go home and write, I'm going to make a connection, and I think that sounds a lot like getting a homework assignment, right? And I know what that's like. And then let that page come out of you, then it will be true. And I'm underlining that because it sounds like that might be significant. That might be important for the rest of the poem. But that also brings up a question. Let that page come out of you? What exactly does that mean? Okay, so we have a connection, we've asked a question, and finally, we want to summarize, because this is kind of a stopping point. So, Mr. Lovery, would you like to summarize for us?
Just these first 6 lines. What do you think's going on?
I think it's about mutant alien roses. Oh wait, what are we doing? Oh right. It
He
seems
wasn't
like
annotating. His mind was not on the text.
he's in a class, and he's been given this assignment that is supposed to be about him, but then line 6 seems like it might be a setup, and I haven't read the rest of the poem, but everything seems to lead up to line 6. Like the first 5 seem connected to me, and then I wonder if it's that simple. So that makes me curious what's coming next.
Yeah, and it might be that he's posing the question. He might be going then on to give you something of an answer to it. So if you guys want to, as a group at your tables, just continue to read through this, and we're going to work on that for the next couple minutes. And we want you to do this. We want you to underline some stuff, highlighter if you've got it, star, brackets. We don't care how you do it, but you're going to listen, so you're going to nod along with the text, and then you're going to talk back to it. And we want you to make at least like 2 connections for each one of these. Connections or questions, or write a summary of each section. You know, it's got that break in the middle. How about you write a summary after that, and make some connections and write some questions down. We expect you guys to write it directly on the text, put some stuff in the margins, and yeah, have at it. Next couple minutes. You will be expected to share these with the other people in your group, so you gotta have something written down.